Once again, hello everyone. I think now our tech team is also in place and we are all set to start the seminar. And welcome one and all to the free webinar, How to Choose an Optional for Civil Services That's Right for You. I'm Dr. Neha Agarwal and I want to welcome all the participants. Hello everyone.
Hello, ma'am.
It's such a pleasure to have all of you here today. And before we begin our session, I want all of you all to clap for yourself because you have decided what you want to be and you have chosen such a majestic and elite service for yourself. So I think hats off to all the participants, not participants, all the aspirants who are here who want to be IAS officer, IPS officer, or an IFS officer. So a big round of applause to each and every one of you who is here, right? I'm sure you must have a lot of questions, a lot of doubts, a lot of fears. Whenever you interacted with a different number of individuals, they must have guided you. Everybody must have given you their own opinions. And then instead of having clarity of thought, you must have gotten even more confused. So don't worry, today you are in the right place and all your questions regarding civil services, specifically on how to choose your optional, is going to be answered. Okay. Before we begin the webinar, I want to talk about Gargi Knowledge Solutions, who are behind this event. Gargi Knowledge Solutions was conceptualized with the intention of providing a much needed but scarce service in today's world: career guidance, career counseling, and mentoring. We know there is a lot of information out there on the internet, on the web, but we don't know what is right for us, and we feel the students need the right guidance at the right time to decide what is best for them. The other sponsor of the event is Reflections with Dr. Vivekanand. This is a platform that was created by Dr. Vivekanand to connect, interact with, and mentor students who are aspiring for success in their careers and life, specifically with regard to civil services, whether it is the UPSC civil services exams or the Group 1 or Group 2. The force behind Reflections, Dr. Vivekanand, comes from a family of teachers and educators. He really likes interacting with students who are seeking advice and support. He does that through his Telegram channel, on which he has been guiding and mentoring over 3,000 plus students. Okay. This is about both the platforms that have been instrumental in bringing this webinar for you today. And before we begin the webinar, I just want to give few guidelines for all the aspirants. First is, we request you all to please put yourself on mute so that there aren't any disturbances or connectivity issues. Okay. In case you have any questions, at the end of the session, we have 15 minutes allotted for Q&A, and you can ask your questions directly to Dr. Vivekanand sir at that time. Okay. In case you feel your questions have been unanswered because of the paucity of time, we will address all of those questions through an email or a simple phone call, and the details of which I'll be putting in the chat box. Okay. And again, I want to remind you that the meeting is being recorded, and by joining the session, you're giving your consent to being recorded. Okay. And without any further ado, I want to introduce Dr. Vivekanand. Dr. G.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is an MBBS graduate from Sri Venkateswara Medical College, Tirupati. He cleared his civil services exam in 2014 and got placed in Armed Forces Headquarters Civil Services Cadre. His current designation is Assistant Director, HA Division, Defense Machinery Design Establishment, Secunderabad. As I've already told you, he comes from a family of teacher and teaching is his passion. He thoroughly enjoys interacting with young aspirants and guiding them onto their dreams of becoming an IS or an IPS officer. He has been selflessly guiding and mentoring more than 4,000 students through his Telegram channel, which is Reflections with Dr. Vivekanand. He is closely associated with several reputed civil services coaching centers, not only in Hyderabad, but all over India, which it includes cities like Delhi, Vijayawada, Vishakhapatnam, Guntur, Dehradun, Tiruvananthapuram. So you can see that he has been interacting with students across the length and breadth of India and has been mentoring and guiding students in civil services for more than 7 years. He also writes regularly to the editorials and articles of various newspapers such as Hunts India, both national and local dailies. And then he gets time beside after mentoring students. He also likes listening to music and singing. That is one of his hobbies. And that's about it from me about Dr. Vivekanand. Sir, I hand over the session to you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the elaborate introduction. And yeah, I also have to thank Gargi Knowledge Solutions platform for bringing me here. So yes, as ma'am has already told, I cleared my civil service examination in 2014, and presently I'm posted as an assistant director as in Defense Machinery Design Establishment, Secunderabad. Now that let's talk about this most important aspect, which many students find it difficult during the beginning stages of their preparation, on how to choose an optional subject for civil services examination. So, and this is one such choice. If we don't make it right, or if any wrong step is made in this particular aspect of choosing a right optional subject for civil services examination, it has all the potential to backfire. And I have seen many students who work really hard and who are very consistent with their preparation and who also are very committed to their preparation, but because of this wrong decision they would have taken during the beginning phases of their preparation, that is not choosing a right optional subject, they have struggled a lot. It took them more number of attempts to clear the examination, or some of them totally failed to clear the examination. See, it's something very, I may be sounding very negative right in the beginning of the session, but it's true, ma'am. I've seen people, because of not exercising due diligence in choosing their optional during the beginning stages of their preparation, I've seen people like getting their dreams not met in their life. Is there anything more painful than that? So on this note, so let me directly get into the session. I want to interact with you guys more. So what I thought, I'll share the screen and pay attention, listen to the session very seriously, because I personally believe anything, especially during the beginning stages of your preparation, should be a very serious business. You should not take it lightly. Try to take all possible suggestions which I am trying to provide with, and do not hesitate to ask for more at the end of the session. As ma'am has already told, I'll also take some questions regarding your optional preparation and all. So now I'll be switching the video off, and I'll be sharing my screen, because I want to interact with you by showing the screen, so that it will be more productive, more beneficial. And also at the end of the session, I share the same PDF with which I am interacting with you guys, so that yes, it will be a proper, at least you will have at least 5 to 6 good take home points for the next 45-50 minutes time which you're going to spend with me, right? So please note, I'm sharing the screen now, and I'm switching the video off now. Yes. And please mute yourself the moment you guys join. Make it a point to mute yourself, so that yes. First things first. So what's the weightage of optional subject in UPSC Civil Service Examination? This is something very basic, which we all guys must be aware. It is 500 marks. Yes. In your mains examination, you have 1250 marks for your general studies subjects, including essay. And apart from that, out of that 1750 marks, 500 marks weightage we have for optional subject. That itself signifies how important a decision is you guys have to when it comes to choosing your optional, isn't it? And yes, this is too basic. Some of you must be already aware. It comprises of 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2, isn't it? Usually the exam pattern is such that during the morning session, students will take paper 1 and afternoon session, they'll be taking paper 2. Then let me get into the core idea for today's session. That is, what are the criteria to select an optional subject? Means before choosing an optional subject for civil services examination, what are certain important things we have to keep in our mind? So we should never take an optional subject just because somebody has told you, or just because your senior of your college has suggested you to take it, or just by going by your whims and fancies, or just to satisfy your ego, let me take the toughest possible subject and crack it. No, these kind of negligence is definitely not warranted, especially when it comes to choosing your optional. So I tried my best to devise certain criteria, and I tried to make it as much objective and as much scientific as possible, so that hopefully these suggestions which I give to you would be really helpful to you in choosing a right optional subject for your civil services examination. So first things first, I would like to say that 40% you should give importance to the scoreability of the option. 40% to the scoreability. So what exactly is this scoreability? See, scoreability means success rate of the option. Success rate.
Sir,
So
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we cannot see the screen. The screen is not being shared.
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I believe now it must be visible. So yes.
Yes, now we can see that, sir. Thank you.
So 40% is the scoreability. Scoreability, I meant, is the success rate. Success rate of the optional is something very, very important. If you try to observe carefully, I try to give it 40% weightage. Then why should we give so much importance to scoreability or the success rate? See, after all, we are here to clear the examination, isn't it? We are not here to become subject experts, or we are not here, to have any academic experience or not to have any kind of academic learning activity, right? So simple, plain objective coming here is to clear the examination, get out of the examination process at the earliest, become a civil servant and serve the nation. So serving the nation is your criteria, but not gaining knowledge so much to the extent that you end up not knowing what to do with with that knowledge, right? So that's the reason I try to give the highest weightage to this scoreability or the success rate of the option. Then, so just say this, success rate of the optional in the last 3 to 5 years is something very important. We should take it seriously. Then the next question that would be running in your minds, how would I know success rate of any optional? ESMA, UPSC website itself gives you very clear information about what is the success rate of various optional subjects. And not just UPSC websites, there are other many websites of several different institutions. They have already done this work for you, and they have very clearly mentioned what's the success rate of various options. For instance, just for the sake of your reference, I have given this success rate in the year 2017 of various optional subjects. You can appreciate here, right? Say for agriculture, 89 people have appeared, or 89 people went to the mains level and have attempted with agricultural sciences as their optional, and of them 11 people got recommended. So success rate, it's like 12.4. You can see it here. Say sociology, look, sociology, these many people have written mains with sociology as an optional, and you can see it here. These many people got recommended, and this actually is the success rate. Then look at other popular optional: political science, 1246. These many people got recommended, and this is the success rate. So yes, just by and look at this literature optionals and the success rate of various literature optionals. Like this, what I suggest you guys is look at this success rate over last 3 years. So this will give you some understanding on which optional is performing the best, which option is performing the best. So having made my point here, let me go a little further. Then try to talk to your college seniors. Nowadays, like most of the colleges have, some or other seniors or some successful student from your college, something like that. Try to get hold of them. Try to, take their contact number, make a call once, talk to them once, take their suggestions, and also any trustworthy mentors. If you have anybody in your friends or relatives, something like that, they also will definitely in the beginning stages, they'll help you. They'll tell you, okay, this particular optional subject has this percentage of success rate. This particular optional subject has fared really well in the last 2-3 years. So definitely their inputs also would be very much valuable, and it may be of help for you in arriving at a right decision. Then another very common question that would be running in the student's mind, I know this: how many people should I consult before taking my decision? Not complicate by asking too many people, and see, the more number of people you ask, the more confused you become, and situation will turn chaotic. So don't do this. Just trust couple of people, and also preferably those people who have already cleared the examination, or people who have crossed certain stages of this examination, like people who have went till interviews, something of that sort. Take their suggestion. Do not ask too many people. Confine to 2-3 reliable people. Then most important than that is apply your mind. See, you're all adults, you know how to think, you know what is correct, you know what is not correct. So don't go by this blind application of somebody else's suggestions. It's highly likely that if you start an optional subject just by going by the suggestions of someone else, it's possible that it can backfire. So don't do this. Apply your mind. You're all adults, you know how to think, you know how to gather various insights and inputs to take a proper decision and take a right decision. So yes, apply your mind and take a well thought out decision. Do not blindly follow anyone's advice, and do not choose any optional just because many students have opted for it. This is one very common mistake made by students. So shun that herd mentality. Take all the criteria which I mentioned above into consideration, right? Say the criteria which we have discussed, or which we'll be going to discuss in detail. These are the things which you are supposed to keep in mind. Not because, okay, most of the students in Hyderabad, they are going with anthropology, so let me also go with anthropology. That's the stupidest possible thing to do. No, don't do that. Why should you go with anthropology because everybody else is taking that? Means you don't have your own thinking, or you don't have your own way of diagnosing things for you. No, that's not correct. So come out of that herd mentality. Choose what is right for you. Just don't go for any optional just because many other students also have opted for it. That's not correct. Okay. Yes. And this part I've already mentioned, but let me say it emphatically again. Always remember the fact that you are not here to become subject experts. You have come here to clear a competitive examination. Be very clear in your mind. Be very clear in your mind. You have come here to clear the examination. So do what all it takes to clear the examination. But don't go to the extent of becoming a subject expert or academic expert. UPSC is definitely not expecting any kind of academic expertise or subject expertise. UPSC is expecting those students who have that knack or intellect to apply the subject they are learning, rather than passively learning a lot of information or passively gathering a lot of subject. No, that's not the intent. Intent is whatever little you learn, if you learn to apply it to the context, apply it to the situation, then that's the quality which UPSC is expecting from you. Having said this, let me go to the second and most important criteria, that is personal liking. So when it comes to choosing your optional, I told that 40% you should give to the scoreability of the optional, then 30% you should give to the personal liking. Personal liking, say, what do I mean when it is personal liking? Some of you must be thinking, does it really matter? Yes, it matters. Let's say you choose some literature optional, Telugu literature, because it has good success rate over last 3 years. But throughout your life, you always hated that language. You never know how to write Telugu properly, or you struggle even in reading, a board which is written in proper Telugu. You don't even properly understand dialogues of Telugu movie if it's like an old movie. Then if such a scenario exists, then what's the point in choosing Telugu literature as your optional subject? Because you don't connect to it, right? You don't like it, and not liking it, you are also to the extent of hating some particular subject. Then don't go for such a subject. Don't go for such an optional as your. Don't go for such a subject as your option. So yes, stick to like take this personal liking also seriously. If you are seriously disliking something, definitely don't take it. And going little further, be sensible. You should like the subject at least to some extent if you want to score good. Say, what if I have neither awareness nor liking for any subject before I started to prepare? This is very common. Most of the students, this is very common. They may be having neither any awareness about the optional subject, nor they may be having any personal liking for any subject. This is an important set of most of the students are like this. Even same is the case with me. Before starting my preparation, I'm just aware that UPSC will have an optional subject, but I'm never aware like if which optional I would like, which optional I would like to enjoy, or which optional has scoreability. These things I was not aware, because the kind of like the kind of support we had at that point of time in 2010-11, we don't have that quality guidance or suggestions to actually help us in taking a good decision or arriving at a good decision when it comes to choosing our options. So in such a case, we have to be very diligent. So what we are supposed to do, see this. With some initial effort, try to boil down to 3-4 optional subjects. Say some 3-4 optional subjects will be there, say, which have success rate or which have good coaching availability or such that, and you also have some amount of personal liking. So identify at least 3-4 optional subjects. Some are anyways ruled out, okay, because certain optional subjects like, say, animal husbandry, or if you're not a veterinary doctor, you can't do it, or if you're not an agriculture scientist, you can't do it. Likewise, certain options are you might not have even heard about what is philosophy in your entire life. So such an option also you may not even want to consider. But you want to consider 4 or 5 options or 3-4 options. Let's say you want to consider geography, you want to consider psychology, you want to consider public administration, you want to consider anthropology. Maybe you also want to consider sociology. So you have boiled down to 3-4 optional subjects. Now do this. Take the syllabus of each optional subject. UPSC website has properly compiled all the syllabus. Then spend a day or 2 days reading various topics of the concerned subject. Means you take sociology optional. 2 days without asking anybody, just take down a proper printout and keep reading different topics or different ideas which are mentioned as part of the syllabus. I'm not asking you to do again internet search and read about the individual topic. No, don't do that. Just read the subject part. Just read the syllabus part. Say what all things are included as part of the syllabus. And when you do this now, somewhere you will start developing some connect and some liking to a personal subject. Most of the students to a particular subject, most of the students have actually experienced this. Say they ask me, I'm not sure of what optional to choose. Then what I suggest, do this thing, take out a printout of the syllabus and do this reading for 2-3 days, and definitely some topics or some subjects would inspire you more than other subjects. Then definitely that would be the option which you would want to take. So this exercise may help. Try to do this, and it could be helpful in providing you more relevant or most relevant inputs or insights for arriving at the decision of choosing an optional. But do this effort honestly, okay? Don't fool yourself. Be honest to yourself at least. Tell yourself, okay, am I going to do this? Okay, am I really liking it, or am I pretending to be liking it, or am I over jealously liking it, or it's just that effervescence It does not have any actual sense behind me liking it. Sometimes you just get fascinated by looking at certain things, right? That kind of childishness is not warranted. Be calm, composed, and observant, and don't get carried away by your emotions. Apply your mind and think, okay, only if it inspires you to take, or only if you started developing real liking, then go for such an optional subject. Then comes the third criteria, another important criteria, that is availability of the faculty. If you observe carefully, 70% weightage I have given to the scoreability of the optional and your personal liking for the optional. I am not that person, who would like to give so much importance to things like coaching centers or faculties, though I myself teach at several places. But with this, I want to tell you something very important, that it's your hard work that really matters. What really matters is your hard work. What really matters is your ability to remain consistent, your ability to remain true to yourself, your, that thing of following a strict schedule, strict routine over next 1.5, 2 years, not getting distracted, being fully attentive, and attending classes regularly without fail, taking down class notes without fail, revising the classes definitely after taking down notes and revising each and every class diligently. These are the ones which are really going to help you in clearing the examination, not the civil service coaching centers or the faculty. None of them have a magic wand. It's you, it's totally you. Your effort and the quality of your effort is the thing that is going to determine whether you are clearing this examination or not. Over reliance on some coaching center or over reliance on some faculty or some material would be of no consequence if you do not actually put that real effort to clear the examination, right? So that's something very, very important I want to tell before I go a little further. Yes, availability of quality faculty support is also something important, and I gave 15% weightage to this particular criteria. See, it's fashionable these days for toppers to say, I haven't taken any coaching. They just say it like that now, but in reality, I myself, I know many of my friends who are toppers and who are into other services. Without exception, at least all my friends, they have taken some or other coaching. Maybe they would not have completed the coaching fully, because in the middle of the coaching they would have felt bored, or they thought they could manage to study on their own, something of like that. They would have discontinued it after going for 2 or 3 months. But none of them, at least I know in person, I know many of my friends, at least hundreds of my friends who have cleared this examination, and now they're working at several various positions. All of them, they have taken some or other kind of coaching, and they have read some or other institution material, or they have read some notes of some faculty likewise. So they just say it because it has that media attention will be there, right? So that could be one reason they'll just say that I have not taken any coaching. But most likely they might be lying, or they just want to get that heroic status by giving this statement that they have not taken coaching anyway. See, only microscopic minority would have that levels of capability, and there is also a possibility that such people who have opted as optional those subjects which were part of their undergraduation or post-graduation phase, or they would have cleared after 4, 5, 6 attempts. This also is important. Say they would not have taken any kind of coaching, or they would not have taken any kind of support, because that would be their subject in their undergraduation, post-graduation. Let's say some guy has done his English literature in his bachelor's of arts, and he also has done English literature in his MA. Then he also would have done some PhD on English literature. For such a guy, there is no necessity to go for any coaching, right? Because he himself has done postgraduate level academics in that particular subject. So for him, there is absolutely no necessity to go to any kind of coaching. But you may be coming from some engineering background, medical background, or chartered accountancy background, or maybe some other background. And if you want to write psychology, if you want to write public administration, you want to write sociology, you want to write anthropology, then at least some basic level of guidance is necessary. So yes, don't just go by that heroic emotion that I'm going to clear this examination without coaching. Such a thing is not warranted. If you are somebody, if you can afford coaching fee, then just go for it. Just go for coaching. Don't give any second thought. I'm not trying to promote any coaching industry here. I'm just being realistic. See, even 15% is something very important. When there is cutthroat competition and best of the minds in the country are competing to prepare for this examination, isn't it? You have ITNs, you have doctors, you have chartered accountants, you have high-paying corporate professionals leaving their jobs, coming and preparing for examination. When this is the levels of competition, why do we want to be left out in the competition? It's not correct, right? So that's important. It doesn't mean that students who are coming from modest background are not clearing examination. Yes, even such students, many, I myself know many of my students who have cleared this examination coming from small towns like Narsapuram or Narsaraopet or Karnool, Pradhatur. These are the students, they have come from very modest background and from small town engineering colleges or degree colleges they have come, but still with the consistent effort and hard work, they are happily clearing this examination and yes, achieving success. So yes, if you have affordability to take coaching, don't waste your time thinking whether I should take coaching or not. You will be wasting money on several other things. This is something worth it because it's something which can change your life for a best possible career that is available in the country, isn't it? So if you want, you can ask some senior aspirants who are struggling to cross past their main phase of the examination as they might not have given due respect to the optional preparation. Okay. Yes, ma, you can definitely talk to some of your seniors. They'll tell you how important a subject or how important a component as in the process of examination this optional is, right? So yes, this is another important thing. And another common mistake made by students regarding optional is trying to take coaching from the same place where they are doing their general studies coaching. You know, this they do for the sake of convenience, or they think, okay, why should I again go to some other coaching center? It is located in 2 streets far, or it is the timings are slightly overlapping, timings are slightly not matching, or sessions are starting early in the morning, or sessions are ending late in the evening. No, come out of these kind of lethargy. It's definitely not possible that some institute which is giving the general studies coaching may also be having good anthropology or good sociology or good public administration or good psychology or good whatever Telugu literature option. They, because they are providing for general studies coaching, they also would have been providing for some optional coaching and they do not want their students to go anywhere. But you don't get swayed away by this. Try to do proper market survey, try to talk to people and only go to the coaching to the place where the faculty is reputed and faculty is capable of delivering the goods. Okay, so don't do that. Go for the best. Try to adjust your timings accordingly, or try to manage your commute accordingly. But passively, just because you have joined for your general studies coaching in one coaching center doesn't mean that you have to join your optional also in the same coaching center. Please don't do this mistake. Come out of that lethargy, come out of that laziness, take some effort, do some research, market research, and try to join the best possible coaching center. Then again, don't get distracted with the cacophony of marketing, isn't it? Say, this is something very common mistake made by students. Whoever publishes ad or advertisement in the newspapers on regular basis, we think they are the best. Or whoever comes frequently appears as an advertisement in YouTube channels or maybe some other channels, then we will take it for granted. Okay, this guy must be the best because he is spending a lot of money on advertisement. Then he must have brought the best possible faculty. It's no guarantee. How would it be a guarantee that somebody who has a lot of money can give best quality faculty? Faculty is something which is individual level, right? So don't get distracted with all this cacophony of marketing. Now here, some seniors or other mentors, they'll come to your rescue. They'll help you identify what actually are the marketing stunts, or what actually is the marketing, and who actually gives the real quality, Yes, in this case also, the suggestions from your seniors and mentors will be definitely helpful. Okay, talk to them, tell your priorities, tell them your strengths, tell them your weaknesses, tell them your past academic good and bad things. They'll definitely share some wisdom which should help you in arriving at a good decision. Okay, you tell them, see, because each of you might be having a different type of temperament. Say some of you must be such that you have very good at grasping, so you don't require a detailed and somebody who teaches subject for 7-8 months. For you, somebody who teaches subjects in 3-4 months is a good bet, because that's what you are good at. You tell your seniors. Or you are one such person who would want, you may be a little slow in grasping, but once you grasp, you remember things very well. then for such a student, what you need, some faculty who actually takes who actually deals with subjects in a leisure manner and elaborate and detailed manner. Then you have to go to such faculty who actually meets your requirement. So how would you know the requirement? How would you know what your requirement is, and how would you know if the faculty is satisfying your requirement or not? Simple. Talking to some people who have already taken coaching with different coaching centers, do that little bit of effort, try to find such people, take their contacts, try to talk to them. They will definitely help you in arriving at such a faculty who actually suits your temperament. Okay, yes. Then another very common mistake made by students, they'll be in this 20th century mindset. What this 20th century mindset will tell us: older the faculty, greater their teaching ability. And we all have this kind of stereotypes, right? More the gray hair on the faculty's head, then we will be thinking he is very experienced, he is very talented, he is very knowledgeable. Maybe he is very knowledgeable, maybe he is best in his academics, but how would it matter? We are not here to become subject experts or academic experts, ma. As I've been repeatedly telling this, we are here just to clear this examination and go. That's it, right? With due respect to them, let me say this: such faculty may be extremely good in their academic aspects, but what if they are not following current examination trends? It's very much possible. I myself have seen this. I myself am a victim of this experience. Okay, just by thinking that, okay, he is having 25 years of teaching experience, 30 years of teaching experience, 40 years of teaching experience, how would it matter? He would not have even seen the question paper of last 2-3 years of UPSC. Then will he be in tune with the trend? No, he is outmoded and he is no more relevant to the current demand of the examination. Maybe he is popular, maybe he is promoted by a big institution, and you guys just go get, take the beating and come out and later, regret for the decision. Don't do this. Apply your mind, be a little diligent, talk to people, make some effort out, and try to actually go to the people who are satisfying the demand of the exam, right? Yes. So choose your faculty wisely after a set of serious deliberations. Of course, with full application of your mind. I keep saying this repeatedly. Then this is a new trend. Leave your inhibitions about online coaching. Yes, we all have these apprehensions or inhibitions about online coaching. Even I am also in agreement with most of you guys that offline sessions are more effective, productive, and stimulating. Yes, even because being a faculty myself at several institutions, I thoroughly enjoy teaching offline because I can see students, I can interact with them. For me, it's like a meditative experience. That 1.5 hours where I teach, I'll be like in that trance mode. Definitely, all of us would like to teach offline more, but now the situations are slightly different and it's a new normal. And also there are certain benefits which you will be having attending online. Biggest benefit being, you can save your time and money. Same coaching which is available for you 35, 40,000 offline might be available for you 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 online, right? Then you can save your time, you can save money, like going every day, going out of your house and trying to make for your transport arrangements, then staying out in a hostel. All such things will definitely be addressed if you try to prefer online coaching. I'm not saying that you have to go only for online coaching. Make that a balanced judgment. Sometimes there is a possibility that online coaching may be more suitable for you, then take that call. If you are one who are already in Hyderabad, or you have decided to come and stay in Hyderabad or Delhi, then happily you can go for an offline coaching. But at least don't have this apprehensions or inhibitions about online coaching. Online coaching is as good as, or if not as good, at least 90% or 80 to 90% as good as offline coaching. Okay, so come out of all the inhibitions. Then comes the next and important criteria, that is availability of updated material. So I gave 15% weightage to this particular criteria, that is availability of updated material. Because yes, ma, there are some subjects where the material is not getting upgraded, whereas the UPSC examination demand is far exceeding the kind of preparation level student has. Classical example is public administration. Public administration is one such subject which is very dynamic and very evolving, and definitely examiner would want students to know all this evolving and dynamic nature of topics in their wanted in their scripts, and that's how they are framing the question papers. But the kind of material available in the market, it's quite outdated, and these are the books which are written in 1990s, early 2000s, and for 2021 examination, definitely these are not relevant. These are not at all suitable. These are ill suited. But students are grappling through this problem of not having upgraded material. And also test series support is something very important. There are some optional subjects, say for instance like medical sciences or such subjects, where proper test series support is not available. You may be thinking, is the test series so important? Test series is definitely important, because at the end of the day, what matters is if you don't complete your exam in 3 hours of time, you don't complete your paper in 3 hours of time, you don't know how to write the content you have, then it's waste of time. So that comes only with intense practice, right? And how would you practice even if nothing like test series also is not available in the market? So choose such an optional subject which has material gets constantly upgraded, and it has some kind of test series support available in the market. So don't take it lightly. So yes, to be in tune with the demand of the exam and be exam relevant, above support is very essential. Some of the optional subjects, in spite of all the pull factors they have, they felt terribly insatisfying above criteria. So do some exercise on this and choose an optional which have upgraded material available in the market. Another common query with students: should I choose an optional subject which complements my general studies preparation? Isn't it? Actually, not necessary. For that matter, most of the humanities optionals have some degree of overlap with the general studies. So don't take that aspect so seriously, ma. That 4 criteria which I have already told, right? Scoreability of the optional, personal liking, 15% to the quality of the faculty, 15% to the updated material and test series support. These are the ones which should bother you more than whether the subject has complementarity with the or overlap with the general studies preparation or not. Don't take it very seriously, because I've seen sometimes people going with options like PubAd, sociology, anthropology, or psychology, thinking that this subject has a lot of complementarity with general studies. No, that's absurd. It will not be of much help, because general studies preparation is altogether a different ball game, right? You have to prepare general studies anyways. So this complementarity business is not something to be taken very seriously before considering any optional subject. Then another common question: should I go with an optional subject which is same or similar as my undergraduation or post-graduation subject? For this answer, it's neither yes nor a no. It depends, ma. How good a student you are during your college phase. If you are that 4 or 5 gold medals type, just go for it. Who is stopping you? Say you are from a medical college and constantly you have scored 75%, 80%, 85% over the last 5-6 years. Then who is stopping you? Like you have so many gold medals, you are a distinction student, you would have properly attended all the classes, you would also have had class notes of the faculty who have taught you. Then everything is set, class notes is there, good subject is there, confidence in the subject is there. Just go for it, because it nullifies everything else. Your scoreability or your personal liking, everything else will get nullified, because you have invested 6 years of your time, effort and energy on it, right? So no second thought, you can just go for such an option. But you are one such guy who have chilled a lot in your undergraduation phase, never touched the book. Like most of the time you just read 2-3 weeks before examination and just passed your examination like that, because that's the most of the students are of that type, I know. So then better not to touch such a subject as your as an optional subject. So don't do that. If you have given it due respect during your undergraduation phase or post-graduation phase, definitely go for it, because it's going to help you. Then, should I go for Delhi, Bangalore, or whatever if my optional isn't completely available in Hyderabad? Yes, if the support available in Hyderabad is not the best, you can definitely consider going to Delhi, or you can consider going to Bangalore. But first things first, check if online modules are available. If online modules are available, see, Delhi personally, I don't suggest going Delhi, because the weather or the safety or security issues there, the kind of food availability there, very congested, very much polluted. I at least people whom I know in person, I strongly discourage them, not to go to Delhi. It has got its own positives also. I don't say it's completely. I don't want to tell completely negative about it, but all these days everything is available online, right? Whether it is test series or materials or whatever it is. So that will the effort you need to put in there to find a room or to stay in that crampy the rooms which are very much congested, not getting good food, erratic weather, like it be intensely hot during summer months and intensely cold during winter months, and top of that pollution during winter months, keeping all these aspects and unfamiliarity of the people, unfamiliarity of the language. Your first 3-4 months of effort will be going in learning Hindi or whatever. So then definitely not necessary. If you have an online, available, then just go for online coaching. So these are some inputs which I want to share with you guys when it comes to uh, the optional subject. If there are any, I try to address as many queries as I can. If there are anything more which you wish, which I'll be more than happy to take them. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Vivek sir. That was truly exhaustive, and I'm sure most of the questions that the students have would have been answered. But in spite of that, if they have any questions, I will take them.
Sure, please.
So I want to request all the students to either put your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself, switch on your videos, and ask your question to sir directly. And another one point that I would like to make is we are discussing about how to choose optional. So if you have queries related to that, or I would urge you to please stick to this current topic. Don't ask questions related to other civil services issues. Yeah. So anybody has any questions? And meanwhile, I'll just check on YouTube if they have any kind of question.
Yes, sure, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah,
you
we
can
have some
ask.
questions on YouTube. I'll just
Yes.
take questions from there.
Yes.
Um, so Amarnath Yadav has one question. Do you
Yeah.
agree with the idea teaching experience doesn't matter with knowledge?
Ma'am, yeah. Teaching experience does not matter with knowledge. Obviously, experience do count. I don't completely write off the importance of experience, but at least for civil services preparation, for me, the most important thing is being updated with the trends of the examination, current trends of the examination. If somebody is not in tune with the current trends of the examination, definitely it does not serve our purpose. At the end of the day, yes, we have to just clear this examination as much as simple as yes.
There is another one questions. How to collect the material for the optional subjects? Like how to decide which books to read?
uh, First things first, ma'am, like say for instance, uh, attending the classes properly is always the first thing I recommend, because you are paying for somebody and you're also giving your time and attending his classes. There is no point again going here and there and searching for somebody else's material and all. First start with your classroom notes, because this is one you have dynamically interacted with, created some memories, dynamic memories, and taken down as part of your notes. So I always suggest this: start with your class notes. Start with your class notes. Do every single assignment given to you by faculty without fail. That itself will take care of 60 to 70% of the material which is necessary to go for mains phase, then rest of the things, like maybe some standard books may have to be referred or some updated material may have to be provided. That obviously, when you have entered that stage of properly reading your book thoroughly and revising it couple of times, your your wisdom will automatically guide you to what else to be read. So generally students expect in the very first session what all books they are supposed to read, and they'll make a list of all the books in the very first class. They'll go and buy all the books even in the very first week of their preparation, end up reading nothing. I have seen hundreds of students doing this. Don't do this mistake. Attend classes regularly, take down class notes regularly, revise your class notes properly, do all the assignments given by faculty, and if faculty asks you to go and read from some particular textbook and make a note out of it, do it. Don't take faculty lightly. That's how 60 to 70% of your preparation is taken. Rest of all, of course, the standard books are available everywhere in the market. Suggestions will be provided by the seniors, provided by the faculty. You yourself will get to know a few things by experimenting. And yes, that's how we have to go with the optional aspect, material aspect. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. The next question is from Sheikh Sohail. Sohail, would you like to unmute yourself and ask the question to faculty directly? You have raised your hand.
I can read, ma'am. He has posted it in the chat box. I can read it. It's in the Zoom.
Yeah, okay, fine.
He seems to have done his undergraduate in mechanical engineering. He's confused between maths, anthropology, and sociology. Scoring and notes available. But I'm not art student, so I don't tend to make a decision. So no, so hell, like the question you have asked is a very common question, which all of the students will be having in their minds, because now you are thinking between maths, anthro, and sociology. I got to know that maths in the recent times. And first of all, let me reveal my conflict of interest. I also teach anthropology, so there is a possibility that without my knowledge, I may suggest anthropology. But that's the reason. Don't even consider my suggestion with 100%. Because as I teach anthropology, there is a possibility that indirectly my words may convey that you may have to take anthropology. Sociology also is a very good optional. Sociology also is a scoring optional, and sociology also has good faculty support available. So sociology also has upgraded material available. So now, and let me tell, because I teach anthropology, that discomfort which some students feel that we are not from biology background, so we may find it a little difficult. It's not something that significant. Because most of the students at least have seen clearing with anthropology optional. They do not have any kind of biology background. It's just a matter of effort, just 1 or 2 months of sincere efforts. Definitely you can master that part of anthropology. So rest of the anthropology is very much similar to that of sociology. Yes.
Yeah. Next question. Yes.
I can see one more question, ma'am. What is the proper
before
preparation?
Before that, like I'll just go in an order. One question has been asked by Malkan Syed. She is currently in BA second year, and obviously she's from a social science background. Her question is, when do they start reading the newspaper? Because should she focus now on her social science art subjects, or should she, devote time to other things?
That's what, ma'am. It's all about time management. Say giving time to read newspaper is something we have to pull out. And somebody who is seriously considering preparing for civil services examination definitely have to spend at least an hour to 1.5 hour on daily basis on reading newspapers. Yes, it's all about prioritization. It's all about effective time management. Yes, answer is yes. You have to prepare for your newspaper and simultaneously balance with your academics.
We have another question from Kushwant, who is asking, when is a good time to start optional preparation for a college student?
Yeah, for a college going student, I personally suggest to focus more on your general studies preparation for time being. Let you guys complete your undergraduation properly. Then when you actually come out of your undergraduation and start preparing for the exam, then meanwhile, just make a decision, because 3 years of time would be sufficient for you to arrive at a decision on what subject you want to prepare or what optional you want to take. You can also gather some basic notes, or because say for instance for subjects like anthropology, sociology, public administration, psychology, even certain NCERT books also have basics of those options. You can read those NCERTs and get acquainted with the subject. You can familiarize yourself with the syllabus of the optional. Then once you're out of your undergraduation, then aram se you can just do some kind of coaching stuff, and that's the best time to start your preparation. I don't suggest that you have to start your preparation of optional subject right in the middle of your academics. During academic phase, focus on your general studies proper. General studies preparation focus would suffice.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Sairam. He is asking, is it necessary to give more time to optionals in context of increasing uncertainty of toughness of certain optionals like public administration?
Sairam, it's as simple as that, right? Like you still have whether optional is tough, not tough, optional is 500 marks. So yes, and when you are in competition and when it is relative performance, if everybody else is reading, we also have to read, isn't it? Because it's all about the relative performance. And I agree with you. Say your concern, I agree with your concern saying that because they are framing very tough questions in optional, so students will think it this way. I believe you must be a senior aspirant because you're asking this question. So why not I invest more time in general studies? Maybe general studies will give me more marks. That is true. General studies may give you more marks, but what if you score exceptionally well in your general studies and you get 230, 240 in your optional, whereas somebody from other optional scoring 310, 320, then we are completely left out of the competition. We may not even get an interview call. So let's give our best possible time and effort to the optional. Let's at least try to reach that 260, 280 figure, because that's very much possible in spite of in spite of the toughest paper, trickiest possible questions, still with some sincere effort, 260 to 280 is very much possible. And yes, give extra bit of effort to your general studies, then definitely you are still in the competition and do your interviews well. Definitely you can see your name in the list. As simple as that. Yes.
Next question is from Sahitya. She's asking, how much time should we give for the preparation of an optional?
Acha, for preparation required. Okay, it depends. How sincere you are and how committed you are. I've seen students who have cleared this examination in just a preparation of 2 years who have cleared this examination. And I'm also seeing students who are preparing for last 5, 6, 7 years, still struggling to clear, move past beyond the prelims or mains phase also. So there are both case studies. It depends on where you stand, how committed, how dedicated you are. If you are one such student, at the end of every week, you are going to put 65 hours of quality work, or by the end of a week, end of a month, if you are coming up with the 230, 240 hours of quality work, definitely you will clear this examination in matter of 1.5 to 2 years. Yes.
There is one question on our YouTube channel where
Yes,
Amarnath Yadav is asking, sir, can you suggest some content or how to prepare for economics?
Economics, I don't know, man, if it's optional, if it's for optional.
For optional economics.
Optional, I'm not the right person because economy optional, I'm not aware of it. It's a technical subject, right? Yeah.
We have another question from Rachna. She's asking, from 25 optional subject, which subject has good upgraded material, which subjects has good success rate since 5 years, and how to make the notes to get easier to study them in order to get a good grip. So
Yeah.
she doesn't want to do any kind of homework. She wants you to do all the homework and tell her that what is the best option for her to choose.
Simple, Marashna. Like popular options, you must have already heard, right? Public administration, political science, sociology, anthropology, geography, psychology to some extent, and in respective state capitals, literature optionals like Kannada literature, Telugu literature, Tamil literature, Hindi literature, English literature. These are the ones which are popular. And all popular optional subjects have good amount of faculty support available and good materials being provided and also being constantly upgraded. So yes, these are all the popular optionals. Popular means like at least the ones which majority of the students will be taking, they will be having, they satisfy the criteria which I have mentioned. Yes. And taking notes now, that's what, it's something very, very important. I suggest to students, don't skip even a single class. Never ever skip a class. And take down notes of every single topic which faculty has taught you. Don't be busy judging whether the faculty is teaching well, not teaching well. Don't get into that business. Irrespective of faculty teaching well, not teaching well, but if you are spending some 400 or say some 300, 350 hours with somebody, definitely you will get to know a lot of information. You will get to know so many ideas, and that too they are properly sorted and might have given to you as notes. So don't lose on that advantage. This is a very common mistake made by students I've seen. They come, they join, and the moment they would have been into the 20th day or 30th day into their coaching, some friend from some other coaching center would tell my faculty is teaching well, or some other faculty from other institute is teaching well. You compare notes, you compare faculty, ultimately we end up getting nothing. Don't do this. You have done your work and you have selected somebody as your faculty, then let's do this properly. Attend all classes, take down notes of all classes, start with the class notes as the basic notes, and then build upon it eventually as we are progressing towards the main space of the examination. Rachna, keep that in mind. Which sure. Yes, ma'am. You can suggest.
If anybody else has any more questions, please type it out in the chat box. And again, I request everyone to ask your questions pertaining to how to choose an optional. Regarding generic preparation of civil services, maybe we can have another session and we can deal with it then. Today, because we are discussing about optional and how to zero in on the best one for you, please stick to questions related to that. Because again, we have a question is how to prepare for NCERT books, Lakshmikant's books. So I just feel we are going to get diverted from the topic. So
okay.
Yeah. So I want everybody to stick to how to choose optionals. Sahit, which option is suggested by the... So again, Sahitya is asking the same question. Which option is suggested the most by considering all aspects of our preparation?
Acha, it depends, Masahitya. Like, especially in Hyderabad, if you're a Telugu girl, we have good coaching available for anthropology. We have good coaching available for like public administration to some extent, political science to some extent, and yeah, even what is that? Psychology also is available. So these are the few options which are available in Hyderabad. And yeah, among all the options, not because I am teaching, but reality also is anthropology has good coaching available in Hyderabad. Yes.
We don't have any. Okay, there is some question. I don't know if it is relevant or not.
Yeah, amidst sociology and anthropology, that I can see it, man. Which has more scope for scoring? That's what. Sohail, I've seen both students. I mean, both options faring equally well. Say, and somehow what I felt by talking to the students who have cleared with sociology, they have told me that sociology is a little more dynamic when compared to anthropology. Sociology is more dynamic, more current oriented than compared to anthropology. So it depends on your mindset. Let me not pit one optional against other, and let me try to be as objective as possible. Just because I am teaching anthropology doesn't mean that I have to glorify anthropology. If you are one such person who would like to confine to the bounded syllabus and who would want just to go deeper into the subject, bounded syllabus, prefer to read static content, anthropology is for you. But you are one such person who would want content to be dynamic, getting upgraded constantly from current affairs, and ready to face that challenge of taking a slightly tougher question, learn to apply concepts which you are learning as part of the static to the dynamic, then sociology is an option for you. So choose according to your mindset rather than working on the optional scoring aspects. Scoring, both of them are doing more or less the same. Both of them are doing more or less the same, but it's based on your mindset. Choose what actually fits your bill. Okay.
We have another question. So the person is asking, what are your views on the app Unacademy?
Unacademy, I'm not aware, because I haven't seen any classes, anything as such in Unacademy. I have a couple of my friends working as faculty in Unacademy. Sorry, if I know it, I would have definitely told it. But with little experience, I'll tell. Don't think I'm talking negative about Unacademy. Some faculty in Unacademy are good. I heard from my friends, but most of the people, because of easy recruitment process, they have adapted Unacademy people, especially because Roman Saini also I am personally aware, because he is also a doctor and he is junior in AIIMS. So of course, when he has started it, he has started thinking only about civil services. But now that app has expanded so much and it is such a big thing that for them civil services is not the first priority. So definitely I heard from most of my friends that the quality is compromised in this process, and yeah, somehow they are not giving their best. This is only hearsay. I myself did not have any personal experience. So take my advice with a pinch of salt.
Vinila is asking which online coaching platform is good for public administration.
Online public administration.
Yes.
Like in Hyderabad, like as you're asking online, I suggest to go with some Delhi-based, because in my limited view, Hyderabad does not have updated or upgraded materials available, at least for public administration. Better go for, I heard sir's name, Ansari sir. I don't remember the name of the institute which he teaches. Ansari sir, Pavan sir, and such good faculty are available in for public administration in Delhi. This much information I am aware, as I don't teach public administration. So I'm not aware of the names of the institutions, but I have heard names of these faculties who have, from my friends who have cleared the examination. Ansari sir and Pavan sir and Mahanti sir. These three names I have heard.
Yeah, I think that's all.
Okay.
I don't think, okay. So one last question. I think this is the last question that we can take. What's the best coach? One, okay. Maybe just two more questions because I feel it is relevant. One question is, which is the better coaching center, Delhi or Hyderabad?
Best coaching center in Delhi and Hyderabad.
No, which is a better center, which he wants to ask, Delhi or Hyderabad? I think that's...
I personally suggest students to remain in Hyderabad and prepare happily, because Hyderabad has that, convenience and comfort. It's very safe, especially for girl students. It's quite secure, and also good food is available. Weather is also comfortable, as long as you don't have any distractions. Because with Hyderabad, I have only one complaint with students. That is, they often have some friends or relatives in Hyderabad, and the moment weekend comes, they'll jump to their friends or relatives, waste time, and do not concentrate on their studies properly. If you are one such person who can come out of that distraction on any given day, for me, Hyderabad is far superior when compared to Delhi.
Okay. I'm just rephrasing her question. I rephrased it before. What she was asking is, which is the best coaching center in Delhi and Hyderabad? As you had rightly guessed, that is what she was asking.
Acha, best coaching center depends, like several, like say in Hyderabad, RC Reddy coaching center is good, La Excellency is good, 21st Century IAS is good, and CSP Balalata ma'am's coaching center is good. Like each of them have their own strengths, each of them has their own weaknesses. So at the end of the day, we have to choose something, which suits our temperament and obviously our timings and our approach. All of them are good. I won't say that one is best, other is this is second best, it is third best. Let me not sit and, because I work in almost all the places. I work with RC Reddy, I work with 21st Century IAS, I work with La Excellence, I work with Analog. I never worked. Balalata ma'am, I know her in person, but I never worked in her institute. But all of them are more or less the same. They are good. Say, for instance, RC Reddy, their biggest asset is the quality of the faculty. They have the best possible faculty in the town available. But they have certain weaknesses, like when it comes to current affairs, they slightly lag behind. La Excellence have biggest asset is they have good and upgraded material, and they are very good when it comes to current affairs and all. But somehow faculty, definitely they do not have big heads like RC Reddy. 21st Century IAS Academy, like it's mix of both. They have some good experienced faculty, they also provide some good material, but they have their own weaknesses. So like this, ma'am. So I can't say that this is the best, this is the second best, this is the third best. Each have their own strengths and their own weaknesses. Yes.
Last question is from Shravya, and I think this is a very pertinent question on which we can end this session. What made you choose anthropology as your optional, and on what basis did you choose anthropology?
Mine is relatively easy, ma'am, because I come from medical background. So, and at that point of time, anthropology is a very scoring subject. And at that point of time, there is good coaching centers, coaching availability available in Hyderabad, and I just have gone through the syllabus a couple of times. I've seen it. I found it interesting. So I think for me, it's not a big effort. And when I have written during my first attempt, we have two optionals. So one option I have chosen as public administration, other one as anthropology. Later, from my second attempt, UPSC has removed one optional and just kept one optional. So from that point of time, I continued with anthropology option. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I think we can end the end our webinar with this.
Yes.
If you have any more questions, I'm sure we can answer all those questions. If students reach out to us in person over a phone call, or you can always email us, and you can also be in touch with us through our Telegram channel. The link of the 2 Telegram channels that we have, I have posted in the chat box. So you can use that to connect with us, and connect with Dr. Vivekanand sir if you, for any further clarification of doubts, or in case you've decided you want to take up anthropology. So yes. I have put the link to the 2 Telegram channels. One is a generic channel and the other is specifically for anthropology. Okay. So I think thank you so much, sir. And thank you to all the aspirants who've been present here today for the session. And we will continue. We hope that you continue to connect with us, stay connected with us. And, we can help you in your journey in becoming a IAS officer.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
All the very best to all the students here.